Hey, how are we doing? It is the morning. We do have a lot of chickens and we do have our hatch. Gonna go ahead and open our uncommon. Now if I go check out our pets, it looks like we do have three bee pets, which we got another bee pet when we open up that common. Um, yeah, so our pets are actually looking pretty decent so far. We have a earth, metal, metal, metal and earth, so it looks like we actually have quite a few earth pets as well for farming. I'm gonna go ahead and claim our sprite money, and I'm gonna go ahead and kill these chickens up until I am able to get to the proficient stage to unlock frogs. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, we're back after just a little bit of time, and there we are. We got our chicken in advanced. So now what I want to do is I want to go into the shop, and I want to purchase a couple of frog spawners. So I'm going to go ahead and buy 10 of these. It might be a little overkill, but, you know, whatever. We can afford it right now. I'm going to go ahead and move this jukebox, and I'm going to put the frog spawners here. Now, notice you cannot place your spawners down because you need to island upgrade and purchase a spawner upgrade. Right now I can only have one. Once I purchase this upgrade for 1,000, I'm able to place 5 spawners. So I'm gonna go ahead and purchase that. I think that's the only one I need. I might also go ahead and purchase this hopper upgrade. That way I can hopper into our composter over here. If I'm able to do that, then I'm going to be able to make all of the sugarcane into bone meal. So I might end up making a system for that. Gonna push these chickens out of the way, and hopefully these frogs spawn as well. So yeah, I'm gonna just be AFK for a little while longer. Before I do that though, I think I also want to finish out our farming. I don't really care about collecting all of this sugarcane, but we're gonna get this farm converted over to a bamboo farm. Now, bamboo, it might need to be a little bit taller of a farm, so we'll see if I need to do that. Because I remember last season you had to mine like the third high bamboo block in order to increase your study. So that's just something to be aware of. If you're not getting study, you might have to go further up on the bamboo, let it grow a little further before you start mining it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clear this farm out, and I'm also going to go ahead and purchase just a little bit of bamboo. I'm going to go ahead and purchase 10. And then I might use my bone meal just to get it jump started and seeing if that does or does not increase my study. So yeah, I'll come back after a little bit, but it might be a couple of hours, just because I might have these frogs stack up, and yeah. Alright, we're back after a little while. I ended up going down here, and in the corner I ended up going all the way down to the void level, so down here, and I planted a little bit of the bamboo. The reason I did this is because if I mine that top block, it doesn't actually give me any study experience, so I have to wait till it's more than 3. So if it's 4 tall, like it is here, I can go ahead and mine these blocks and they'll start giving me that knowledge. However, if I mine that third one, yeah, it does not give me the knowledge boost. So in order to progress, I need to have it grow a little bit taller. So yeah, I went ahead and did that. Our frogs are spawning in, and yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and hop in the boat and AFK for the day. Alright, and we are back after a long day of AFKing, and you can see frogs have stacked up quite nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and claim this money. I'm also gonna go ahead and upgrade this guy a couple of times. So I can upgrade this efficiency, I can upgrade the storage, and the production. So now this guy is maxed out for the overworld. However, I can also unlock the underworld. It does cost cloud coins to do that. I'm probably going to do that. I have gotten a couple extra cloud coins from grinding the dungeon arena. So even if you aren't playing with missions, you can also get cloud coins that way. But yeah, I think I'm going to start off by going through. I'm going to hit these frogs. I'm also going to check how our farm is doing down here. We did get the bamboo farm, but I don't know how I'm going to mine it because it is so tall. I know if I use a sword, it will be super fast, so I will probably end up doing that. And I'm also going to be running up some of the Clash Arena because those have been spawning in quite frequently. So, yeah, just giving you guys a heads up on what's happening. Wow, that was loud for our time here. Hey, what's happening today? We are back with another episode of our Ironman. And as you can see, I did a little bit of grinding off camera. So I ended up taking some screenshots. I was not on my main computer. I was on a laptop. I was not on my normal setup. So I ended up just taking some screenshots. I ended up finishing grinding out frogs. We got some frog eggs, we got some frog legs, but now we are on rabbit. I ended up buying some rabbit spawners. I bought 10 of them, and I ended up AFKing them. As you can see, I also have a bit of money saved up. I ended up also upgrading the sprites. I took some screenshots, maybe I did, I can't remember, of me upgrading these with some sky dust that we got from our dungeons. However, these rabbits are more useful than you think, especially on an Ironman, and we will get to that. However, I need to start grinding these things and end up getting to the apprentice stage, or just past the apprentice stage. I can't really remember. So I'm going to grind for a little bit. What we are looking at is we are trying to get to the rabbit hide, and you will see why. Alright, we're back after just a little bit of grinding. We ended up getting there pretty quickly. As you can see, we're already at proficient, and we already have a little bit of rabbit hide. So with this rabbit hide, it actually turns into leather. You might be asking yourself, hey, but why is leather even that important? And that's a great question. I'm going to go ahead and take some sugarcane, and everybody knows what you do with sugarcane and leather. You make some books. Now, if I go into the shop, I can go into the blocks and see I'm actually not able to buy bookshelves. So you are actually needing to grind for your bookshelves. Now, there is a way to get cows, not from the shop. Oops. You cannot buy cow spawners, but you have to grind for cow spawners. So if I go into my studies and check in the wood cutting, I know I think it's under spruce, maybe it's acacia. Yeah, acacia. Expert, you get cow spawners. So that is one way to get leather, is grinding a ton of acacia for these cow spawners, or you can utilize the rabbit hide and make some leather and turn those into books. So this is how I'm going to be getting my enchanting table set up for level 30 enchants. Now, we still do not have lapis, but we are trying to get this ready for when I have lapis, because I'm going to want to enchant right when I get lapis. So we have that done, and we have our first enchanting setup. Now, I can't really use it quite yet, but we are working our way there. But now that we have that unlocked, I can now working on our mining while also working on our bookshelves. So I can have kind of like two goals in mind. I'm trying to get that level 30 bookshelf while also trying to unlock the lapis. If I took a look into our studies and look at our ores, we are already on apprentice ore, but we are still working on getting that lapis, so we still have a little ways to go. Now, you do have some recipes that unlock when you end up getting to expert, which is really nice. So each one of these kind of have their own recipes. Yeah, it's just something cool, like a little extra. This is how we're going to be getting into brewing, and there is custom potions that are used, which is really neat. So hopefully we can check that out at some point. But I think our first order of business is really moving on from this iron stage and getting into the lapis stage. So I think I'm gonna sit at this ore generator, throw on some YouTube or some music, and begin grinding. All right, so I actually wanted to start hatching some pets, so I ended up coming to Graph, and it looks like he is selling a hatch slot for 1,500 pet coins, and I do have that amount of pet coins, so I'm gonna go ahead and purchase that for the pet coins, not the cloud coins. Yeah, so now if I go into my hatch, I now have 2 slots unlocked. So now I'm effectively doubled the rate in which I can get some pet eggs. So I'm gonna probably do a little bit of grinding here, getting a couple of pets, and then head back to mining. So yeah, just so you know. Alright, small little update. I have hatched a couple of eggs, and I ended up also farming a little bit more. I ended up getting our first legendary pet egg, so I'm going to go ahead and hatch this now. Um, it is a 6-hour timer. Let me go to the Warp Pet Arena and see if we cannot buy an instant hatch. Oh, it does not look like we can. Do I have a instant hatch? Let's see. What kind of timers do we have? We have one instant hatch. There are 6-hour timers. Okay. I honestly might just wait it out. It'll cook overnight for me. So, yeah, I have otherwise been working on our mining. If I check our studies for iron, it looks like we are about 46% of the way there to proficient, and then we have one more to go until we get to lapis. So yeah, I have been doing that. I also did end up going down and working on the bamboo farm a little bit. And it looks like we are working towards advanced now, so that is one away from cactus. So yeah, um, grinding has been treating me well so far. I think I'm going to just continue sitting at this gen and yeah, keeping an eye on my pets. Alright, after a little bit more mining, I ended up getting this skill ability finally, so I did go with the $2 every ore mine instead of the pet coins, just because, 7 ore mine is not a lot. Um, I can easily get those pet coins at the pet arena, so yeah, I went for the $2. I mean, $2 isn't a lot, but it'll hopefully add up over time. Looking at our studies, also, we hit proficient, so we now can get blocks of iron. I have also gotten 1 special iron. I'm at 8 special coal as well, so I'm just storing everything right now. Haven't really sold much. This sprite with the upgrades is producing a lot of money, so this is definitely a really useful resource early on. You just have to upgrade it with a little bit of sky dust, and once you have the dungeons, and if you have, I think it's the grinder set that is helping me, and the dungeoneering set's helping me get the extra sky dust. I recommend doing that, so you can always just get more sky dust. I honestly might even go back to the dungeons and do a couple runs and get like an inventory of loot. Alright, so I ended up doing 3 dungeons. So here's one. I guess you can't see the other ones in chat, but they didn't really take that long. Ended up getting 2 looting 1 books, so I think I have 3 looting 1 books now. I'm almost at looting 3 just off of books. I did get a little bit more enhanced lapis, some more blocks of iron, so we're doing fine on iron, and like a ton of different resources. So we have our clash materials, which I can put away. We're actually doing pretty decent on clash mats. I don't think I really need to farm anymore. We ended up getting a duplicate disc, the far disc, so this one can disappear somehow. And yeah, we just got some decent goodies. We're also at almost 10,000 Skydust. If I go to my island upgrade, the next upgrade is 10,000, so I might end up doing 1 more actually, so I have enough for the upgrade and an extra key in case I want to do more dungeons. But yeah, I might go ahead back to the generator right here and work on mining just a little more. I was just gonna see if I couldn't get another unbreaking book so I didn't have to repair this pickaxe as much. Watching videos, I almost broke my pickaxe a couple of times. So yeah, I'm going to head back and yeah, continue grinding. All right, I'm about to get off for the night. There we go. We are done with the rabbits, but not done. We still are going to grind them for some leather. We have a couple more bookshelves. Looks like 3 more. But yeah, now I can go ahead and purchase the next spawner so they can start stacking up. So it looks we got pig spawners. There's 10 of them. I'm gonna move these frog spawners. And the pigs can spawn on this block. And everything else should still stack up. So yeah. I ended up doing quite a bit of mining. Like a lot of mining. And if we check our studies out, it looks like we are, 20% through. So hopefully we can get there tomorrow. But I need to go sleep. Alright, we're back after a long time. I took a couple of days break just because it was a lot of grinding with the mining. We do have our legendary pet done. We got a metal pet, which is perfect with a specialist second ability. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and equip that guy. So first let me get these guys cooking. And then I'm also going to go to my pets and equip our first legendary pet. So, when this guy gets to level 5, he will get an ability, which I really want to try to get. I have been AFKing. I don't know why these pigs have not stacked up, but we do have quite a bit of money in there. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get to mining. If I go to my studies, it looks like we are still like about 350 away from getting that advanced and unlocking lapis. If I also do studies, I think, yeah, the underworld is now open, so we can continue on to the underworld if we really wanted to. However, I think getting lapis is still a main priority for me, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and still grind the overworld and the overworld ores. So yeah, I'm going to continue mining here. Alright, a little bit of mining later, and I've been going to the dragon. They've been spawning in the dragon. This is because it is the new Clash Arena. So if I go Warp C, it is now the Underworld Clash Arena. So I've just been going here doing my 100 damage, just like I have been previously. And then I usually just head back to my base. But yeah. I get my 100 damage. Now the dragon has a higher chance of dropping better scales. But in the chat, my wolf did get to level 5, so if I go to my pet, I can now select its ability. So I have the ability for either chef, which restores hunger, or I have student, which finds knowledge. I'm going to go ahead and do the student. Now when I'm mining, I have the chance of finding whatever study I'm working on. It can increase that study by, like, let's say 15 points, 10 points, whatever. So this will make our grinding faster. If I also check my studies out, it looks like we are 150 in. So we did about 50 iron ore in that amount of time. Yeah. Our boxes over here, our chests are getting pretty full. I might go ahead and make some more storage for that. But yeah, we're doing that. Also, something to note, for the dungeon, the next set of dungeon keys have came out. So that is the underworld. It does cost 5,000 skydust, so I might have to do a couple of the tier 1 dungeons in order to get enough skydust for the tier 2 dungeons. So yeah. I think I'm gonna keep grinding. Yeah, just keep on mining along, trying to get that lapis unlocked. And I'm gonna continue also going to the dungeon, or the Clash Arena, to get my scales. Alright, well, it's been quite a bit of time. If I check my studies, you can see we are 1 iron away from advanced, which unlocks the lapis ore. We grinded quite a bit. So there we go, our first little bit of lapis. Now this opens up so much for us. We are able to do some enchanting, which I really want to do right away. I'm sick of this pickaxe. I really am. I've done so much mining. Um, yeah, I just can't do this anymore. Another thing to note is Underworld is out, which means that there has been a huge dragon party. Now, in between, like, oh, there's been a ton of dragon spawned, right? And I've just been going, I've been doing my little bit of damage and coming back to the island. Now, for this event, since they did just release the Underworld, all you have to do is you need to just hit the dragon one time in order to get scales. So I'll just do that, go back to my island, and continue grinding. However, something to note is you still get the scales. You don't have to be there. If you have bossing on your armor, it doesn't really affect when you are at your island. You have to stay in the clash arena for bossing to proc. However, I don't really care. Look at the amount of scales I have. Now, these scales, since we're in the underworld now, they have a higher chance of being a higher level. I have 2 max dungeoneering scales. I also have the rest of my armor completed. So I'm waiting on getting the pants right now, and I have also started working on the underworld clash materials. So I have 4 line scale mail, I have 1 bone plate, and yeah, I've just been grinding away. But yes, the lapis is very important. Now I can use a lot of this iron that we have and start getting our maxed out enchanted tools. Now, I don't have max bookshelves, which is fine, because I can always just combine some items. So I might go ahead and make another anvil for over here. So let me get that, set that down over here, and then I can start combining some pickaxes. I want to get a max out pickaxe, I want to get a max out axe, and a maxed out sword. Those are like the 3 main tools that I want to get maxed out right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of enchanting and see like what I can't get for this max level. So we're gonna get efficiency. That's like the main thing that we're really focused on. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and enchant and combine some tools up, and we'll be back in a little bit. Man, it is so nice finally being able to utilize some of these enchants. I mean, now we have a max out pickaxe. Now, oh my goodness, it's just going to be so much nicer to mine. I'm going to need to make a new generator as well because, you know, we're just out producing. We're mining through the farm before all of it respawns. So, you know, I'm not complaining at all about that. But, yeah, we need to do that. We're going to be able to start getting looting. We're increasing our farm. We hit all of our rabbits now, so those are all gone. Yeah, we're just moving up. You know, I cannot complain. This is so nice. We're able to finally utilize some of these tools more to their full potential in the iron stage. Now, I am getting iron, but that would not be the best tool to use anymore. There's actually going to be gold tools now that we are in the underworld. So if I go into the studies, I'm able to now collect gold throughout the ore generator. So that might be something that I check out next time. However, in between episodes, what I might do is I might go ahead and continue grinding away, you know, leveling up our studies, and trying to get our full tools and our full enchanting setup over here. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it off here, and next time when we come in, we are going to continue progressing. Maybe I might also go through some of these scales between episodes, because if I check out my vault, yeah, that's just a lot of digging through scales. So yeah, I might go through this as well. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.